Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a beautiful week. And I thank each and every one of you who are here for the our meditation, our Metta or Loving Kindness meditation this morning. Hello, Lynn. How are you today? I hope everything's well. And Nicole, thank you for both being back and joining us again. Good morning. Good morning, Rory. I thank you. Valerie, always good to see you. Miss seeing you on Monday nights. I'm looking forward to when that group starts up again in person. But again, I thank you all for being here. I just want to touch base a little bit. In the past couple of videos, we spoke about loving kindness and, how it can truly help to open our heart, how it can help to deepen our connection with others, how it can help us with forgiveness, and so many of those sorts of things. If we actually dove into the loving kindness, many reasons, Valerie. I saw that you wrote that. I haven't been able to respond back to everybody's question yet, but I will. Why I meditate is to get closer to the essence that I call God, to deepen my connection with that, to hopefully live from my authentic self on a more regular basis. But if we dive into the Metta discourse, the loving kindness teaching of the Buddha, from a spiritual perspective, he says if people can perfect this, where they go around thinking about, may all beings be happy, and are able to radiate boundless love towards all beings, then he said that path alone will take you all the way to full enlightenment. And so what better method to practice than this loving kindness practice? But for those of you who are sort of more scientifically minded and science buffs, I just want to share maybe a little bit about what the practice actually does for our physical, mental, and emotional well-being before we do begin. In fact, in 2018, there was a study by Harvard. It was published in the July-August Harvard Review of Psychology. And their research showed that there was actual scientific evidence that loving kindness meditation and other compassion-based interventions can actually be very beneficial in people who have chronic pain and borderline personality disorder. Now, there was also a research by Barbara Fredrickson, who's found out that just practicing loving kindness for 7 weeks, and 7 weeks is just less than 2 months, that's less than 60 days, had an increase in very positive emotions. They began to see life and live life with a lot more love, joy, contentment, gratitude, also hope, interest, and awe. And these positive emotions then produced increased feelings of purpose in their life. So it gave people like a sense of purpose. So that's another wonderful bit of research that came out. In 2014, there was evidence that loving kindness meditation actually helped to alleviate emotional tension that is associated with migraines. There was a study in Seattle that 12 weeks of loving kindness practice significantly reduced depression and PTSD symptoms among veterans. And 12 weeks is just 3 months of practice. So, there is great evidence of not only what this... Hello, Malia. I hope to see you soon. There's great evidence that loving kindness doesn't only help us spiritually. It's just not only this heart-opening thing, which by itself is a wonderful thing, because that is healing in and of itself. But it also has wonderful benefits for our physical well-being, our mental well-being, and our emotional well-being. There was a research done by Bollinghouse, Jones, and Hutton, and they found that loving kindness meditation was actually one of the most effective practices for increasing our compassion. Not only compassion for others, but also compassion for ourselves, which is a wonderful thing. And that only took about 3 months to develop that sort of self-love and self-compassion and self-acceptance. The last one I will share is that there was a study by Duke University Medical Center, and they found that practicing loving kindness meditation for just 8 weeks, which is 2 months, reduced pain and physical distress for those with chronic pain and also lower back pain. So there is great evidence of what this loving kindness practice can really do. Because there's been a lot more research just in science and medicine alone on meditation in general, we now have scientific backing of just how beneficial meditation truly is. Years ago, doctors and scientists thought it was more like a sort of new age hippie fad. Like, I don't know if there's really anything about this. And, if doctors would recommend it, people would look at it very skeptically. But today, there is so much evidence. In fact, there's over 6,000 published articles which actually do scientifically prove and demonstrate how beneficial meditation is for our body, our mind, and our soul. And so, I'm going to just begin by inviting you to get into a very relaxed and comfortable position. And you do not need to close your eyes, but of course, closing your eyes does help to turn your senses inwards and maybe alleviate any distractions that might be happening around you. And just assume what is often referred to as a dignified posture if you are seated. And that just means that you're keeping your back a little bit straight. But don't be sitting with any stiffness or tension in any way. Because if you're trying to force yourself to sit straight or sit upright, you're just going to exhaust yourself during our meditation. And now maybe take a moment to just feel the weight of the body on the chair or cushion you're seated upon. Or if you're laying down, feel how you're supported by the mat or the Mother Earth beneath you. And now I invite you to begin by just taking a long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And take another long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And one more long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale or sigh your breath out. And now I invite you to just allow your breath to settle to whatever its natural or regular rhythm is in this moment. You no longer need to be controlling or regulating your breath in any way. And simply allow the breath to be in and out of the nostrils and out of the nose. And just simply try to witness and observe the body breathe. And allow the breath to be however it is, however it's presenting itself. If your breath is fast, that's okay, that's fine. If your breath is slow, that's okay too. However it's showing itself is how it's supposed to be. You don't need to think, well, maybe I'm taking shallow breaths, let me take some deeper ones. That's a judgment. The body knows how to breathe, and the purpose right now is just to try to witness and observe that, however it is happening. Whenever any distractions arise, whenever the mind begins to wander away from the breath, the only agreement you make with yourself is to gently and lovingly just return again. Bring yourself back into this moment by coming back to the breath. If you wish at this point, you can gently rest a hand, maybe on the belly or abdomen or even your chest. And as you breathe, notice the rise and fall of the chest or the expansion and contraction of the belly. It's a wonderful and beautiful way to help connect you more deeply with the breath and also connect you to yourself. And now that we've brought ourselves into this moment a little bit more fully, I'm just going to ask you to bring all your awareness and attention to yourself. I invite you to just bring your attention to you. Notice your body here. And now we're going to begin to offer ourselves our own loving kindness. The practice starts with us. Because without self-love, self-acceptance, self-compassion, we can't truly love another. And so now I invite you to just silently repeat these 4 phrases after me. Now, I always say that if you're alone, you're more than welcome to vocalize them if you wish. But just repeat these after me. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And now just take a few moments to sincerely and wholeheartedly continue to offer yourself your loving kindness by just continuing to silently repeat those 4 statements to yourself. It's also helpful to put a slight smile on your face or a half smile as you state these phrases to yourself. Offer yourself your own well wishes, these loving kindness, intentions. Helps to maybe generate a little feeling of happiness and love. If you so desire, you can continue to hold a hand over your heart as you recite these phrases to yourself. I am love. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And now I invite you to call to mind someone you know that you love dearly, someone you love a lot. This can be a family member, a mother, a grandfather, a child, a grandchild, a sister, brother. It could be a very dear, close friend. This person can be living or deceased. That doesn't matter. What you're just doing is trying to call this person that you love dearly into your mind's eye. So I invite you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize in any way you can this person before you. And now you're going to offer your loving kindness to them by one of 2 ways. You can either just say, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. Otherwise, if you want to make it a little bit more personal, if you want to make it a little bit more intimate, you can actually insert his or her name into the 4 statements. And so you can say, may he or she be loved. May he or she be happy. May he or she be healthy. May he or she be peaceful. And now please take a moment to offer your loving kindness now to the person that you love dearly. And again, keep that smile on your face as you go through these statements. It truly helps us to generate the feeling of loving kindness as we work our practice. Our meditation shouldn't be a grim duty. It shouldn't be something that we force ourselves to do or force ourselves like a job that we must do. We should approach it with a sense of playfulness, with enjoyment. Whenever the mind wanders, just refocus back upon the person you love dearly and start again from the beginning. Don't worry about where you were. And next I invite you to call to mind someone you know who might be having a hard or a difficult time right now. This can be mentally, it can be emotionally, it can be someone who's suffering, of course, physically with a sickness, illness, or disease. And maybe in our lives we know many people right now who are going through difficulty, suffering in mind, or even physically from losing their job, losing their finances, or having it cut off. We might know some people who are sick or are recovering from sickness. So I invite you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize these people in any way. Picture a person in front of you, try to hold them in your mind's eye. And now once again, you just offer your loving kindness to them by inserting, to make it more personal, you can insert his or her name into the statement by saying, may he or she be loved. May he or she be happy. May he or she be healthy. May he or she be peaceful. Otherwise, you can just say, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And please know, it's not just lip service. Don't just run through these statements very quickly, like rattling them off, but put a little bit of feeling behind them. You know, you do really wish this for yourselves and these people that we're moving through. You know, you're offering these statements with a feeling of generosity. The same way you would when you offer someone the statement, may you have a happy birthday. That sense of generosity, you're not demanding that they be loved or be happy or healthy, but you're extending this with a graciousness. You know, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And whenever the mind wanders, whenever distractions arise, again, we don't get upset, we don't get frustrated, we just refocus ourselves, recenter ourselves, invite ourselves to call that person back into our mind's eye, picture, sense, feel, or visualize them, and then just start again. Don't worry about where we were. Just start again from the beginning. And now I invite you next to call to mind someone you know who is a neutral person to you. And by neutral, we mean someone who you don't have any feelings, either good or bad, for. So it might be a neighbor that's just down the block that you just don't know very well, but you see often and maybe wave to work, but you really know nothing about them, so you have no good feelings or ill feelings about them. Might be somebody that you just see regularly, maybe when you go walking in the morning or walk your dog. Might be your postman or delivery person. Might be someone at a store that you frequent and it's the same cashier that you see very frequently. Just call to mind someone who you really don't have any feelings for, either good or bad, of a neutral persuasion. And now I invite you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, or visualize this person in any way you can. And now you're going to offer your loving kindness to them now in the same way we have previously, except you might not know this person's name, so you just do the loving kindness practice by saying, "May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful." You may notice with this person of a neutral persuasion, the mind maybe begins to wander a little bit more, or you might not be able to cultivate that same feeling that you did for those you loved dearly, or those who were sick or suffering or going through difficulty. That is normal. But what the loving kindness practice is doing is it's trying to help us observe our feelings. It's trying to help us observe things about us. And so maybe with this person of a neutral persuasion, we're noticing that our selfless, our altruistic love isn't fully perfected yet. That's natural, that's okay. Just continue on. Your heart will open more with the practice, the more you practice it. As the mind wanders, just refocus again. Refocus on this neutral person and just begin again. May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. Now we're going to move on to what is often the most difficult part of the loving kindness practice. And so next I invite you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize, in any way you can, someone from the present or your past that is a difficult person or was a difficult person in your life. Don't start with the most hated person in your life or the world. Don't start with the most difficult relationship if you're new to this practice. Choose someone more mildly troublesome, someone with whom you just had conflict, someone who might have used you or taken advantage of you in some type of way, or knows how to annoy you, get under your skin and irritate you. It's best to start with someone more manageable because we want to observe our reactions, what's arising within us, but we don't want to be too overwhelmed by these feelings at first. And so just try to picture a person from the present or your past with whom you've had difficulty. And now just try to begin to offer them your loving kindness. May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. You may notice that there is some resistance with this person. Little thoughts and chatter and voices in the back of your head are saying, I really don't wish this for this person. I don't want them to have these things. They've hurt me. The default response is that when we're hurt, we respond in kind, typically. This will help us to break these default patterns. The Buddha once said that hatred does not cease by hatred, but by love alone it is healed. This is the ancient and eternal law. And so recognize that when someone is acting badly, they themselves are coming from a place of pain. We do this practice for the difficult person, not with a heavy heart, but as an exploration to look gently at ourselves and see all our resistance. Notice the ways we hold back our compassion, hold back our love. Notice the ways we refuse to let go of baggage that we might be carrying around because of people and experiences. You might find yourself angry or upset with just the thought of this person. We're not denying those feelings. That's okay. These energies can arise within us. It's even natural at times, especially if the person has hurt us deeply or wounded us deeply in some way. But it's important to recognize that change is possible. As you become more comfortable with the practice, you're likely to find that you can do it with some ease, that there's a relaxing of the heart, and the heart slowly begins to open in time. So even if it seems mechanical right now with this person of difficulty, I encourage you to just continue on. May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And now, last but definitely not least, I invite you now to send out your loving kindness, and all of us together send out our loving kindness to all beings, to all life everywhere in this universe. And so at this point, I just direct you to silently repeat, or again, if you're alone, you could just whisper or state these statements out loud if you wish, but just repeat them after me. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be peaceful. And now please take these final moments to sincerely and wholeheartedly offer your loving kindness now to all beings, to all life everywhere in this universe. I always share an example of a little sort of visualization that I received from a monk in a monastery in Bulgaria when I was studying there. And when he practices loving kindness, when he gets to this final part of sending out these well wishes to all beings, he actually imagines himself like a radio transmitter that's sending out these signals. And with each statement, he sends out a different colored energy, a colored light that moves throughout the universe in all directions. So when he says, may you be loved, maybe like since a red heart is a symbol for love, maybe the color red symbolizes love for you. So what he would do is, when he says that, think of a red light, a red energy moving away from him in all directions throughout the universe, carrying these well wishes, carrying this loving kindness throughout the universe. When you say, may you be happy, or may all beings be happy, he'd imagine a different colored energy spread throughout the universe. May all beings be healthy, a new energy, colored energy spread throughout the universe. And may all beings be peaceful. And so he'd do that over and over again as he did this last part of the practice. So if that resonates with you, if that feels good to you, you can incorporate that or not. But I always just like to share little tools, different ways of working things that might be helpful for some of us. Whenever the mind wanders, just recenter yourself and start again. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be peaceful. And again, remember to keep that smile on your face. Helps to generate that feeling of loving kindness, that feeling of love, that feeling of compassion. Our meditation has come to its end. You may need to bring some gentle movement back to your body by beginning to wiggle your toes or wiggle your fingers. You might want to stretch your arms and legs. Might want to take a deep breath or a couple of deep breaths just to reground yourself. Bring your awareness back to the body, back to the space that you're in. And whenever you feel ready, you can slowly begin to open your eyes. But I thank you all for joining us again in this meditation. I saw a couple of messages right now that it says get stuck and frozen. That just might be the buffering on your end. For those of you that are coming late, for those of you that have missed this, there's always the replay. So you can follow along later. I keep the video up there. I think it's up there indefinitely. But I share it again in the groups. I share it again in this group. So you can go back and watch it if there was stuck at any point in time. Sometimes the Wi-Fi signal on your end is what's the cause of that buffering and so on and so forth. But I just want to share a couple of words of advice from one of my teachers, Sharon Salzberg, who gave some advice on ways to deepen your practice. She said, 1, think of loving kindness and kindness as a strength, not as a weakness. Unfortunately, we've been sort of conditioned to think that kindness is sort of weakness, and people take advantage of us and kind people. And another thing she said is it's important to always look for the good in yourself, because by finding that, looking for the good in ourselves helps us to eventually see the good in others. So we want to always continue to do that. Also, remember that everyone wants to be happy. You know, if we look deeply, as I said during the guidance part, that when people are hurting us or coming at us from a place with that hurt, and they're coming from a place of hurt themselves. So when people are acting unkindly towards us, they're coming from a place of hurt. So remember that. Deep down, though, everybody does want to be happy, and this urge towards happiness is often twisted or distorted by ignorance and by not knowing where happiness is truly found. So those are just a little bit of advice from Sharon. But I also just want to share, since I started with the benefits of loving kindness, since I started, not only how it helps us spiritually, which the Buddha said, if you walk this path and you cultivate boundless love towards all beings, it will lead to full enlightenment, full awakening. So, I mean, why practice anything else? But the other thing I shared was the scientific benefits this morning of what it really does for people with chronic pain, what it does for people who are lacking in self-love, self-acceptance. Cynthia, I posted in this group. So I post the video here, but I also post it on my personal site. So you can come back and follow this meditation all weekend. We do it on Monday, we do it on Friday, and it's left on this page. So afterwards you can come back and watch it, and you can watch it throughout the week, because I hope you know that the only way you all get anything, and I get anything out of a practice, meditation practice, is by making it as regular as brushing my teeth and taking a shower. If it doesn't become as regular, the benefits won't unfold for you as it should. And I promise you it's worth the effort. This may just turn out to be the most powerful medicine for the well-being of our bodies, of our mind, of our soul, as well as our relationships. And as well as, because of that, because it's an expanding and an opening of the heart, because even there's studies that show that this is one of the most profound ways to cultivate compassion, this is the best medicine for humanity. And, you know, the only way we can truly change the world is by changing ourselves. The Sufi mystic Rumi said, I once was so wise, I wanted to change the world, but then I once was so smart, I wanted to change the world, but then I became wise and knew I had to change myself. Something to that effect. So just continue to work your practice, open that heart, expand your heart, and share it with all of those. This, again, doesn't need to be a practice you do seated on your cushion. It can be as you might be out and about your day. I know many people are, their day and their out and about is limited right now, but just if you do go out in a car or something, people that pull up to you at a light, send them these thoughts. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be peaceful. I thank you all for attending today. I thank you all for watching today. I truly appreciate all of you for being here. And I love you all. I appreciate you all. This group is for you, for us, together. Please keep continuing to invite people. We're almost at 500, although not all 500 people ever attend. But what I'm thinking of doing, please comment if you would like to try an evening gathering, because I'm getting a lot of messages of people who can't make now this 9 o'clock. They're caught up with other things. So I'm thinking of maybe trying a day where we gather at 7. But I'll make the announcement about it before. But if you would like that, then please try to continue to, please comment below. Okay? Thank you so much. I hope that each and every one of your days is truly filled with an abundance of love, happiness, and peace. Namaste.